Okay, so I haven't done the usual overlay. There's a reason. Because for some reason it thinks that I haven't got the proper plan or like updated plan because I've been logged out of everything when my computer restarted today. So I just decided, why not? We'll just yeah, no, we'll just do the thing here. Oh, the stream probably died too soon. Well, hello, once you see this. Yeah, hi. Yeah, it wasn't. That wasn't the issue. It was like several reasons. So now I don't have access to my custom overlay for some reason. So I couldn't set up the starting point like I normally do. So yeah, needless to say, there's been it was a lot, but oh well. Welcome to MyStreet 5 years later. Um, I've had quite the day today. Nothing, like waking up, I was immediately contacted by a person from Airbnb who I had booked something from to asking me like what time I was supposed to arrive today and then request something tomorrow when it's like the next day. Um, so I sorted that out. Then afterwards, immediately got into a call with the same people I'm going on that particular Europe trip with, which is the reason I reserved the Airbnb. Then afterwards, got into a Pop Goes thing, which took forever. And now, and then afterwards, then got into a different call with somebody else who needed me. Then went back to the Pop Goes, and then here. So I've had basically no time, and I'm now being called once again, being like, "Oh, we need to talk to you downstairs." It was like, "Well, yes, I know. I just haven't had a slot to actually do that. I physically have not been able to." So yeah, I'm gonna try not to rush this though, because the fact is, I do in fact have another day, and as far as I know, that's just about checking if I've checked my bag or something. So for now, we're gonna do this as per normal. So yeah, we are back to Aaron's horrified face as we look into the episode called Choose, MyStreet Starlight, episode 18. And it's worth noting with this one that I, in fact, did not press like on this video, which either means that I missed it, I just happened to forget about it 5 years ago, or 5 years ago I saw this video and it horrified me to the extent where this time you're not because of like that particular issue. So let me just go back and do my usual. Where I post in the thing. That's, oh, and it doesn't copy paste like normal because my like function as I intended. And just do that so I can actually get ahead. This is probably marketed because this will be this. I mean, this not when we're going to be our last stream because I still want to do the streams while I'm away. There'll be 2 streams that I record while I'm actually away, and then several other things interspersed between them. But yeah, I'm going to make sure I give this a decent send off so that just in case anyone's still confused as to why I'll be responding in certain premieres if I miss them or something else is going on, that will be the reason. Just going down the list now. All of them. And Ghosty's saying, let me in. Okay, fine. I will do that. So yeah, it's not going to be the same. Also, okay, so I can't wait to see the other 2 streams I missed as a VOD later on time. I really want to see your opinion on the others, yeah. The audio is a little bit weird, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tamper with that too much right now. I have used enough of the time. All right, and here we go. So, oh, and now Aiden's saying that me as well. All right, okay, I see you, Aiden. I see you in the chat. It's fine. I'll let as well. He was going back to Monet, but I guess he was busy writing a book. So, I mean, I don't know. This particular one, actually, you know what I'm just going to say? This particular, I will put you all in a second. I see you. All right, here we go. So I suppose in that case, we will welcome our guests in order of when they asked me. Here's Ghosty, and of course our most common guest, Aiden the Best.
Yeah.
All right, now I think we are finally set and primed to go. Except for the fact that Ghosty seems to be frozen.
I've been drawing Ulrich at several different angles for the past half an hour. I need a break.
Dang.
That is fair. Now please enjoy the episode where Aaron makes the choice to turn Afro into werewolf or not. So yeah, without further ado, on with the reaction.
Do it.
Okay, Andy Penguin's here.
I told you it was a terrible question.
And you were right.
I shouldn't have asked. I'm sorry.
I was the one who asked you to be open with me.
Apology accepted. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. It's like wishful thinking.
Emotions are
But
painful.
I wasn't expecting that. Af, I'm not mad. Just
I'm just disappointed.
Yes. Thank you, Aiden.
shocked.
I'm sorry. I wasn't comfortable being so forward about it because it's been something that's been on my mind for a while.
Well, then let's talk about it.
Really?
Yeah, if it's been on your mind.
Okay, that's fair. Talking about it is fine. Yeah.
Let's sit down.
Communication is the start of a healthy
This is the first time she's ever
relationship.
asked me anything this serious.
Oh, are we back in first person perspective from Aaron, but just like zoomed in?
I think it's a
This
POV
forward.
shot.
I need to hear her out, no matter what. I don't want her to feel like she can't talk to me.
It's interesting they're doing it like this because normally when you have a character's thoughts, it is just usually like a same kind of shot with like a bit of an echo filter to it. That's how I like to do thought tracks, by the way. That's how you can tell when somebody's having a thought in them in animation or machinima, usually, is by that filter. But this works too.
I don't
Usually,
know where to begin.
Let's start.
am I the only one who wants to have, the internal struggle thoughts silent and to keep people guessing as to what the character's thinking?
I mean, that's fine too. I mean, I'm all for doing a few things via expressions or lack of expression, depending on how much mystery you want to build up, and going from there. That's fair. Then again, I don't normally use internal thoughts, to be honest, usually, except for in books.
Do not look up hollow eye sockets online unless you want to be scared.
Why would you look that up?
Well, I did mention that I'm drawing Ulrich, and he's he's sort of missing an eye on one side, Aiden.
Oh my word, yeah.
Thing is, when drawing him from different angles, you need to think about what if he takes the eye patch off? For when he's like sleeping or something.
He just becomes 2D from Gorillas.
Two different
Start with
gorillas.
why you're thinking about this.
Aaron,
Well, you
we've
see, it
been
all
together
started with a
since high
comment from
school.
Travis.
Maybe not in a
Yeah.
relationship the whole time.
Oh yeah, hang on, and you're right. This only did cross her mind as an idea when Travis and like the thing, and she says it's been on my mind for a while. A whole walk back to the
Yeah,
It's-
maybe it was a subconscious thought, but at the same time, it would have been more interesting having her subconsciously think, "Ooh, what if Aaron made me a werewolf?" Like when they started having communication issues. Like maybe that was an internal thought she had at one point, where it's like, "I wonder if he," and just leave it there. It's just like,
you know when would have been a good place to do that? When Eric started baking himself into cupcakes to get Aaron to bite him. Because seeing the appeal of that might have triggered something in Aftermath's mind at that point.
Yeah, like
here, when she's already been considering it for a while.
that episode
well.
has always rubbed me the wrong way.
What, the Eric baking himself into a cupcake one?
Yeah, it's just creepy. Like, why not just, ask him directly and be like, could we make this happen? And
I
like
do
see
also-
if Aaron is comfortable with it before jumping directly into shenanigans.
I do also love the fact that the reason that Aaron took this retreat back to the starting island was because he didn't want, he was tired of people treating him differently because he's a werewolf, but yet now the person who has seen him already get a request to turn somebody because he's an Ultima has now made the exact same request, even though she was there to support.
it's for the dramas, Jacob. It's for the
And,
drama.
Andromeda,
Yes.
you're completely correct. Jason does not like the first person. But sometimes first person is interesting for when you want to have.
What? Oh, sorry. You're referring to like the latest comments that I haven't put on screen yet. Okay, hold on a second. Wait, we gotta go.
It's not on screen for you, but it is on screen for me.
Yeah, well, when I say on screen, I mean like this ghosting. Yeah. So yeah. Jacob, did you know there's a channel named Skyland that copies Aphmau's videos? Well, fan re-uploads have always been a thing since the dawn of time, so I imagine it'll be something to do with that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, unless Aphmau goes after them legally for the re-uploads, or goes after them at all, it's chill.
Yeah, so I'm not too surprised they exist in any form. I thought that Jason doesn't like the first person view of any characters. If you guys, okay, right, if you guys watched the Everything on the Secret video, yes, I have seen that one. I have seen that comment. Do you think you wouldn't want to use it again? But yet again, they used it once again here. Okay, well, what's your point?
That
use
was
it
for a shot. That was for a POV shot, which is different than having something be purely first person for a period of a scene or something like that. So,
okay. Oh, hold on a second. Wait, is that you, Jacob, or a different person? Just wondering. What? I'm not that unrecognizable. I've just had a haircut. Jeez. All right. No, Josh. I think Josh is on Twitch, but he just doesn't have a comment. He doesn't have an account, so he can't comment. Is what I meant to say. Oh, you switched around by accident. Oh, okay. Got it. And no, MD Penguin is Josh. As much as that would align several things. No, that is not.
Josh is secretly half the stream. Like Josh is just has a bunch of alt accounts.
Oh, God, alt accounts. Ew.
Help me grow into the strong person I am. Come. When I found out more about you.
You've made me into the strong person I want to become. Now I want to become physically much stronger, enough to jump across an entire river.
It didn't matter to me. I still loved you the same. To this day, I still do. And
Again, that should have been the conversation over right there.
always will. I
Should
do
have, but this is
a
an
lot
Aphmau
of things.
video.
Yeah, it is interesting because we were talking to somebody who actually doesn't mind the fact that Aphmau got turned. I mean, like, you know, it ultimately did serve well in the end. But again, as Sylvana pointed out, that is not the way that they should have gone about it. The motivation was all wrong. I can't believe I just
To understand someone, you gotta become exactly like them.
That is not true.
By Aphna's logic, it was true.
This is like the art of war. To defeat your enemy, you must think like them. To defeat Sylvana, I must think like Sylvana. In which case, Aphmau, don't do it. Don't become like the devil.
It's wrong in our relationship. I don't wake up early.
You know, my boyfriend. Hey, Jacob. My boyfriend, being from a different universe, he has Cthulhu tentacles. I should ask him to turn me into one of the old ones. I would love to become an old one. That way I can understand my boyfriend better. Don't you know? That makes perfectly logical sense.
I can't just ask these questions. No, I have or have empathy. No, I must experience it firsthand myself.
I hog the entire bed all night. I ask you to participate in things you might not like. I'm also very competitive with you. But on top
You haven't been competitive in years, girl. Girl, it's been years. When's the last time you had a competitive moment?
Season 1 Christmas, maybe? No, season 2 Best Dog Dad or Dog Mum. That was the last moment.
Okay, that was like...
No. Season 3, the cooking competition with Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but
that was
Jacob,
like 2 years ago in universe.
Hey, Jacob, stop and think. That's one example each season.
Man, really good character trait. You know, I can't wait to see Caitlin's character trait of punching things where she yells at someone once a season. That would be a great character trait that she always only showed once a season.
Like, maybe if
well,
there were
she
more
is the fire fist.
Maybe if there was more episodes of Aaron and Aphmau butting heads, then I would believe this quote. But it just seems like it's here because plot.
Yeah, see, it's weird because like in episode 16, again, my second favorite episode of MyStreet, they bring up the same thing. Their relationship is not perfect and they have butted heads in the past. Except for there, we don't need to see it to believe it because that's just how relationships work and people will eventually grow to understand that even if they don't at the time of watching. But in this instance, because it comes out of left field and being like, oh, it's like a motivation for an action here, we need to have seen that stuff to understand it, so it is actually different.
Wait, Jacob, she just broke a cardinal sin of writing. Show, don't tell.
Oh God.
That is very true. Yep, that did just happen. You're correct.
Lately...
Oh, hold on.
Aphmau has seen shame.
We have more comments. Hang on. Yes, shame on. Yeah.
What would Sylvana do? I know. The chunkla!
Yes, exactly. I'm barefoot right now.
Mihai, you're getting the chunkla!
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys remember from season 1 that Aphmau commented she didn't want to become like her mum? Yeah, she's turning into her mum during this season. Well, yeah, I suppose. But then again, it's her mum that tells her she's gone too far as well in season 6. So if anything, she became a bit like her mum, did a complete 180, like went from 0 to 100, and then was like, it was actually her mum was like, you should have just done the first thing.
Yeah, it's her mom that's like, Mia, slow down. You're becoming like your mother.
No, it's like you were becoming like a mother, but not anymore. Now you've just gone somewhere else.
I've been very forgetful of your feelings. I say things that I don't realize hurt you. And now...
Perhaps you've had a different body and mental process. I wouldn't do that.
I'm asking you.
Well, mental process, yeah, but different body now.
You know,
this
this
question.
scene would be really sweet if it wasn't so stupid that I bounced off the Andromeda Galaxy and right back into my chair thinking about it.
Yeah, and actually, we later find out it's not even how it works, because when he does turn her, she actually doesn't change her personality pretty much at all, apart from maybe being a bit more bold in combat. But then again, considering they're up against Ian, I feel like that would have happened either way, quite honestly. But yeah, she just stays exactly the same and would be just as oblivious to everything else. So it was just all it served to do was just give her a power boost.
Everything is fine. I'm not mad at you for any of those things. I let you know when something bothers me. And we work through them. Together.
Because
know,
communication
which-
is the first step to a healthy relationship, instead of
Yeah.
jumping to the extremes of turning into a werewolf.
Which is what you told Ted in Kawaii-chan 2 episodes ago! Anyway.
Is why I never doubt our relationship.
Then why are you acting like this?
Thank you, Aaron.
Because of Travis! It's all because of Travis
Because of-
and his evil green eyes!
Yeah. The plot twist, it was actually Michael speaking through Travis, and that's like poisoning Atma with his words.
Afraid of hurting you. Every single time I panic, I'm not worried about myself. I'm not worried about getting in trouble or even sounding stupid. I'm worried about you. How my actions are going to have an effect.
Alright, Ghosty, alright.
Oh god, Ghosty's losing it! She's losing it! She's gone insane! No!
Shame!
Isn't this kind of like Will Smith in his video from a couple of days ago saying he's trying not to be ashamed of himself?
On you.
I will say, I do think the werewolf plot, her turning into a werewolf, gets some good episodes. Like her transformation episodes were good, and like it gets good moments. But it's definitely introduced rather clunkily and purely for the drama.
It's introduced really clunkily, and you know, Aiden, just think, before this moment, she was being really intolerant towards being a werewolf. And now she wants to become one because plot.
Oh my.
Shame. 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 Shame.
Oh dearie me. I literally just DM Money being like, this really would benefit from you being here, but no, she hasn't responded to me yet. She was responding to me just before I posted that invite and left. Like,
Hey
come on,
Jacob,
so close.
hey Jacob, to understand Monet, I think you need to become Caribbean.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll just take some samples of her DNA, inject it into myself, and then I will understand. It was so simple.
No. Don't you know you just need to have Monet bite you?
Oh god.
Actually, that sounds
Yeah, I'll just
You'll
be
become
like,
Monet.
yeah, when we finally like meet up in real life, I'll just be like, well, there you go.
Also, Jacob, just one more time before we continue. Afmao, show don't tell. Shame.
I'm not afraid to lose you. Just the idea of hurting you more than I already have.
I mean, it stabbed him a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I can relate to the sentiment right there, because sometimes as you speak of Monet, I am afraid of messing up in that way a lot of times. But at the same time, there you go. There's my arm. Just stick your teeth there. We'll get it over with.
I want to make sure that I never do.
You haven't
Which
hurt
is one of the
Aaron.
reasons.
If you haven't hurt Aaron directly, you've just been really intolerant this season for what seems like no reason.
And you know, sometimes you just gotta be stupid about this kind of stuff. Apparently.
You've done a dumb. Yeah.
That makes me
Done or done.
think
Why
of
I
the
want this.
weird correlation this season had between werewolves and racism.
Yeah.
By the way, did we
It's
actually
weird.
see this comment? Yeah. See that's
This
why
is
I was
interesting.
saying like I've been trying to get Monet on every single Starlight episode so far for different reasons. Mostly because when you bring up the topic of racism, the one who's known as the most knowledge through research, experience, combination of all those things is Monet. So she would offer really great insight
I
into this
know.
process.
Like, for some reason, when it comes to Lionsgate, Dogan took the werewolf racism from this season that existed for one episode and kicked it up to the logical extreme.
The logical extreme in Lionsgate. I don't believe you.
Oh,
Also,
it
by
gets
the way,
so
just making
bad.
sure you saw this
It
comment
gets
goes.
so bad. Also, yes, Andromeda, if you want to know, I took a creative writing class, and the first thing I was taught, hands down, is show, don't tell.
You know what? Speaking of creative writing classes, I am just going to show off this right here. This is my
Nice.
certificate for my degree in drama and creative writing that I just got a couple of days ago. So
Nice.
yes, show don't tell is very important, and we can
Like,
both say that.
If you want to have examples of Aphmau being competitive with Aaron more, show that. Not one episode per season. Actively have them butting heads sometimes. You know, like two old goats.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I will say Aphmau being competitive is actually one of her more fun characteristics because it gave us again the Christmas decoration episode, the thing with Celestia in season 2. It gave us the cooking competition partially because like that was motivated partly by her fight with Zane and also by her like playfully wanting to prove to Aaron that she can cook as well as him, even though it's again not true because you cook with uncooked grass.
Wow, if only we had more episodes like that to justify this speech right now.
Yeah, I love those moments. Like honestly, we'd be giving this like Zane. We give it a mark of 500 out of 500 or whatever. Oh, it was 100 out of 100. That was it. Yeah. Oh well. Oh, in season 3, how many episode was Aaron showing his real ears and tail? Oh, I don't think so. Because
No.
this is a different type of ears and tail to that one. But I don't think so.
You and
Yeah,
I
they have red
we're
tips in
always
this
gonna have
version.
problems. We're always going to fight.
I know. And we work through them. I love that about being with you.
That being said,
I love that no matter what we talk about, at the end of the day, we'll get past it. I see myself spending the rest of my life with you.
that's a relief considering what I just bought. I mean nothing. I'm hiding that so well.
I'll never ask this again. But I want you to turn me, Aaron.
He asked
Werewolf
me the
me,
same.
honey.
I will say Aphmau's speech there overall was a decent speech. It's just the context behind it of her just being like, "Bite me, Aaron." It's
Exactly.
just a little weird.
It's some pretty words, but yeah, again, and I will say again, I can relate to that sentiment sometimes. Not all of it, but some of it. But again,
You
I
don't
never
want
felt-
Monet to turn you into a
Shame.
Caribbean.
Shame.
Oh.
I'm even gonna fucking shame. Shame.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, to answer your question, Ada, remember that whole like huge like argument about like the identity of like mixed race that we had a few months back? Yeah, definitely. I have neither of us have changed our stance on that one actually. So yeah, I definitely do not want to be turned.
The real reason I wanted you here. Oh, Aphmau, darling, come to me.
I like the idea of her just like waiting in the wings for her entrance.
You will make her a werewolf.
I will not.
A potion werewolf is not a pure one. She needs to be cleansed of her disgusting humanity.
I just realized something. If Ian had controlled Aphmau in a different way with that potion, and she asked the exact same question, then his plan would have succeeded.
Never! I will never make her a werewolf against her will.
I wasn't
Yeah, against her will. That's the key word.
asking.
Keywords.
No!
Huh?
Please. I've tried everything to erase.
You know what?
experience with him.
Listen, trauma happens.
You know what?
I can.
You want to know what would make this scene perfect? Just Aaron refusing to turn Aphmau. He'd be like, no, I'm not comfortable with it yet. Give me time.
I think that's what
Yeah,
happens in this
I
scene. I'm
forget
pretty
how-
sure that what
how-
happens.
Yeah, I forget how that pans. Oh wait, no, yeah, because of of course the episode's called Choose. They got to choose now. But yeah,
He.
This isn't him demanding you. He was trying to force you to turn me. This is me. This is my choice. My decision. And I am not demanding. I'm only asking.
Af, I'm going to need some time to take this in.
The idea of you going through all of this. I think about how things must have been for you growing up. You were all alone. Now,
yeah, becoming a werewolf isn't like gonna solve that because the all alone thing came from his isolation on part of his father, not because he was a werewolf. Because
Yeah.
again,
Yeah,
you both went to a school with a bunch of werewolves. You were the alphas.
We love abusive parents here. They're great.
Yeah,
that's the
Aphmau,
thing that
I'm
Apple
sorry.
fails to recognize. It's the fact that, well,
Yeah.
they actually do kind of have that in common because Sylvana is questionable at most times. But also that's not an experience you can, like, that's a past trauma that you can't, like, relate to just by changing species.
I'm going to be with you
Oh, yes.
there.
My Cthulhu monster boyfriend had very strange parental figures growing up. I would like to become a Cthulhu monster to understand his struggles with his parents. Oh, Cthulhu, turn me into an old one so I can understand your relationship with your father.
Don't question it. It's just what has to be done.
Yeah.
It's just what has
Oh.
to be done.
We've got a good comment here. I appreciate your guys' creative writing and your guys' experience in those classes really shows through that. Didn't Jessica take some class in high school? But I don't know if that was for writing or thing for this series. Or I don't think it was for this series specifically because that's, you can't be prepared for that really. Most classes back in the day wouldn't have been like, this is how to write for YouTube. Heck, mine weren't. And this is, I only just graduated. Anyway, I don't know if that was enough writing the series or it's just the video schedule influencing that. I mean, we have learnt in like an actual extract from Jess herself that her process was what was usually to start and figure stuff out later. But that works sometimes, and early MyStreet they kind of like get their charm from that. Somewhat doesn't always work, but it doesn't. But there's enough successes to outweigh the failures there. But when you're talking about real, like, huge topics like this, especially through an allegory, you can't rush that. You gotta think it through.
Like,
and I suppose that did happen. There was thought here, but it just was in the wrong direction.
Kind of happened. Like, for some reason, season 7, well, season 6, Starlight, for some reason, has a werewolf to race allegory.
That was always kind of present. Well, it was kind of
that
present.
Was always kind of present, but it's only in this season that it becomes a really big thing.
Nope. Phoenix Drop High season 2, it was a huge thing there. In fact, it was most of the conflict.
It was most of the conflict, but it's really handled weirdly here.
I think actually Starlight and Phoenix Drop High season 2, they show the opposite ends of that, really. Mostly because in Phoenix Drop High, that one is really from the werewolf's perspective towards humans, and a little bit of Mifwa, kind of, not so much.
Yeah, what's up?
Whereas here it's the humans reacting to the werewolves, so it's just the opposite end of that.
Like, we don't get much Mifwa rep, do we? We don't really know much about them. They just kind of exist.
Oh yeah, no, I have made that criticism because, like, okay, because when I was talking about Phoenix Drop Days, I am disappointed. You had a Mifwa protagonist, and yet you didn't shine more light on the sabers. Didn't show more about Mifwa culture. Like, no. Even that series added more to werewolf culture, adding the fact that they apparently destroyed the library books, for crying out loud. And you couldn't add any anecdotes of Mifwa. Like, come on. That.
Okay, that's a whole separate issue, but I do agree because I did say that in my reviews of Things Drop Showcase as well. But yes, as far as we're right now, this is a it's like Poe till they rhyme situation, at least. So it's not exclusively an issue here, but I mean, then again, from what we watched in Phoenix Jump High Season 2, that was also definitely another issue, just again from the opposite ends.
But I thought Phoenix Jump High handled it better, in my opinion, than Starlight has so far.
Maybe because like, you know, that was actually showing it how the werewolves are affected, other than mostly Aaron, a little bit of the pack, but werewolves as a whole, as a whole collective, I think that gave much more insight. Versus here, it seems to be, you know, from the humans not knowing out of ignorance for the most part, and the most ignorant out of all of them is the one that was most immersed in the culture from the high school and was the alpha for 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You know what? I agree with you. Phoenix Drop High handled it better. You convinced me.
Yeah,
Every
Phoenix
step
Drop
of the
High
way.
is done better.
Yeah.
Phoenix Drop
Oh,
High
wow,
does
that's
it
the first
better.
time- That's the first time I've heard you say that. I thought it was your least favorite season.
It was my least favorite season. I watched it again.
Yeah,
It's
see, that's
more-
why I thought season 3. It was my least favorite until I watched it again and be like, huh, what was I complaining about? This is awesome, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, but Phoenix Drop High season 2 does the werewolves to race allegory a little better.
Yeah. You know what? Considering my complaints back then, I didn't think I would agree with that, but I do. Yes. Good lord.
No matter what. But if I can share this with you, if I can experience this with you, I am all for that. Even now, we came back so you could get away from everything.
Yes!
But instead,
That's what I was saying before. I actually said that.
No, I don't mind talking about things like this. This is what I wanted.
What?
Just
What?
know that this means more to me right now than people making me into something that they want me to be.
You know, asking me to make them into something that they want to be.
Aaron,
Whoa.
bite me! Or I can't
Thank
do. I
you
can't
for
do.
being
do
honest
Eric's
and
voice,
open with
or
me.
Eric's voice. Wrong. What name?
take as
Eric
long as you
wants
need
to
to
be
think
a.
about it. I'll always be here by your side, no matter what you answer. So there's plenty of time.
Aiden,
At a time.
Yeah.
you made me remember that Eric episode.
Oh yeah, no, it comes back late game in the season for an episode.
I don't know why, but I don't like that episode at
Oh
all.
no, I don't. I mean, I like I like a few scenes in the episode, but all the Eric stuff sucks. Like that whole
Okay,
Eric
think it's because-
storyline sucked.
I think it's because even though Aphmau here is being incredibly dumb to extreme levels, her motivation and like her actual goal is noble. Eric was just like, oh well, I guess Sylvana's not attracted to me, you know, she's already dating me, so I guess I gotta change species, and you know, my entire thought process and everything that involves becoming a werewolf. So yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron, bite me. We're gonna play this off the laughs and then do it seriously later on. You know, so that's why. In contrast, the way that it's handled there is way worse.
Like this?
I don't. The episode. Thank you, Aphmau's creative pipeline, for producing whatever the shit that was.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, someday I will do like the top 10 and top 10 worst MyStreet episodes. It's been on my bucket list for actually, you know what, 5 years.
Looks like your stomach can't wait for food. That's right, dinner! You go relax. I'll make it.
Okay.
Oh, and
Yeah, I just picked some fresh sand from the beach, you know, because I didn't find lentils.
heads up. This might take a bit. I kind of forgot how to cook this.
You
Oh.
forgot how to cook in season 3.
Aaron will not trust you with that if you forgot how to cook it. Because again, the thing he said in that episode was that
You've
cook
been
stuff you know, and
experimenting.
that's good, but
Don't experiment, please. You put unwashed grass in a pot once. It wasn't good.
no.
Well, now she's waking with actual food ingredients this time.
I wasn't expecting her to ask that. Ugh.
Me too, Aaron. Me too.
We're only on the intro. We're just on the intro now. It's like
We're
that was
just-
not the full episode.
We're just
No,
on the-
wait, Zane-chan. Wait. There's gonna be a bright spot in this episode.
Oh, thank
Zane-chan.
Irene,
God.
because I was like, am I ever gonna leave my drink? I don't think I am.
Like,
Uh,
I
also-
remember why I don't talk about this season too much. It's because, like, Aphro being ignorant makes no fucking sense.
yeah,
Like,
it's one.
what in the
It's one of
buttery
my.
shit happened in the writing room to produce this kind of decision?
Yeah, I
Drama.
think overall, I have
Further
said before
drama.
that seasons 3 and 5 are kind of like battling for my favorite position of MyStreet. I'm leaning towards 3 now, because even though she does accuse me of burning down a maid cafe, that's still not as bad.
At
But
least
wait,
she's not-
here's the thing gotta take into account. Season 5, in my opinion, has the higher highs than season 3. But the season also has the lower lows.
Okay, see, I thought the same thing until I remembered that the first 4 episodes, I think, are like practically perfect MyStreet episodes, especially of the tone of the era. So I don't know anymore, actually.
Yeah,
But yeah.
intolerance makes no sense. Why
See,
is
this
it
is-
here? Why
This is
can't
why
we
this is
have
why I did, this is why I
another-
started this show, this 5 years later thing, because like your thoughts do change over time, like not only with your different people, but also
Like-
because you look back and you realize, oh good lord, we let this happen.
Why don't we have like another character related to Aaron being tolerant? And not Aphro, because
Are you s-
Aphro should logically be the person who knows the most
She
about
should be the
Will.
most tolerant.
I
She
think
should be the
Ghosty,
most-
it's like slightly slurring your words. It's like, oh, why couldn't you have another person being
Like,
Like,
why
this is
couldn't
slowly-
we have another
this is slowly,
person
like, making you
being
drunk.
intolerant? Why I'm absorbing the stupid?
Fair enough. Also, it'd be a fun watch to discover what made those episodes truly bad. I mean, I'm sure that I've analyzed quite a few of them already to the extent of what makes some of them bad. But yes, and I will do the top 10 worst and best. I'll do the best as well, because I'm sure that's going to be even more controversial list actually when I pick my favorites. Because everyone's going to be like, oh, but what about this one? Because this one has cute moment number 143.
Okay, here's the problem though. A lot of MyStreet has cute moments, sometimes and more mediocre episodes. So it's just like, does that and sometimes big moments happen in mediocre episodes, or so it's just like,
Aiden, do you think that YouTube commenters at large care about that? I mean, the core audience, people who are here, absolutely. But, the other ones who check out certain AFL videos and nothing else, they'll find it as new. They might not. Anyway.
I've been feeling so
so
small.
small.
Watch the
What's the
clock
clock?
that
ticking
logo
up.
really works with the
But
darkness. I can see
tonight
it so much
I'm
brighter now.
letting
Well, it feels so much brighter. But
Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be
Bumpy.
someone else. No one skip my breaks.
The bumper cars! Come on, Zane, let's go!
It's just what I do when I'm out, so
good musical transition
How
into
come
what I
this-
insist sounds like the Phineas and Ferb song. Bow chicka wow wow. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Anyway,
Also, how are these two, the contrast couple, the best part of the episode aside from the main couple? Why is this happening?
well, because the main couple are trying to bridge the contrast and become more the same.
That's
Ghosty.
what.
Ghosty, I feel like you need some sort of therapy for the bad writing you're witnessing right now. That will benefit you very well. This wants
Hey,
to make me
where's
happy.
my therapy?
You don't need therapy, Jacob. You're well adjusted compared to me and Ghosty.
You know what, Jacob? Me and you can have a creative writing conglomerate to rewrite this episode, or at least the Alpha and Aaron portion, so it actually makes fucking logical sense.
I think actually that was a plan that we had with the YouTuber Write It Out. There's many people who want to offer their own constructive criticism and also
Yeah.
figure out
Write it out is so cool. He is so cool.
Come
Yeah.
on,
He is-
Jacob. Come on, Jacob. Let's go make some elaborate fan fiction. It'll be better than this shit.
Yep, fair enough. That is basically what Legend of Yumi is, so well, not an improvement, but I mean,
Have
in
you
this
seen Legend of Yumi, Ghosty?
I'm excited.
no, I haven't shown Ghost of Legend of Yumi yet.
Oh, you should show her that.
Yeah,
It's good.
same. Okay, Zane, just think. How can I go about
And yes, I can look into all those years.
this date? Aside from talking about the park itself, I haven't really
Shame,
opened up
shame.
conversation. Darn it!
So
Why
much
isn't
shame.
Now answer.
Is this
Wait,
the episode
wait.
where he calls? Is this the episode where he calls Ziana?
Oh, no, he calls Ziana.
Of course.
Well, you
I
need
feel
to
like
call.
this series is my therapy in a sense. You know what? That's fair. I always said
Well-
that if you're able to laugh at this stuff, then it makes it way better.
You know what, Jacob? When Zane gets overwhelmed, he calls a mother. He doesn't call his mother. He just calls a mother.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, you know what? I will say, Andromeda, about the things that are there. I think that's why I love Sword Art Online Abridged so much, because it makes fun of its source material because it's an abridged parody, but it also improves upon it and actually has full different reinventions of what the show could have been.
Yeah, I know.
Bring your
Sword Art
tech!
Online Abridged is great. Meanwhile, the original Sword Art Online is written like someone plopped a kid in the 5th grade classroom and said, "Hey, kiddo, write a novel."
It doesn't matter. I need to realize that she's actually doing me a favor by not answering. If she did answer, all I'd do is complain.
Yeah, you just feel like that one episode where of iCarly where Freddie and Sam go on a date and they bring Carly with them in case they argue, so she can solve all of their disputes for them.
Besides, I was
This is
really
nice.
clingy to Aphmau in the past. I'm going to have to do this date on my own.
So,
This is-
Zane,
A really
Huh?
weird
you
reference
like
that
bumper
nobody
cars?
other than. This is a really weird reference that only I will get. But Coley is really the auspicious to that couple. We can continue.
Just be like, yay, we get it, all of it.
No, we don't get it at all.
Oh no, she's asking me hard questions!
Do you have a soundboard or some shit?
Is Zane sweating through his hair?
are you okay? You're really sweaty.
Can I go to the bathroom before we get on?
I need to.
Oh,
I need
sure,
to get
go
these.
for it. I'll step out of the line and watch. Besides,
I'm-
the line isn't that
I need to get these fucking teardrops out of my hair.
Yeah.
long.
Teardrops keep forming on my hair. I don't know how the physics could let them be there. Doesn't make any sense, but
You could just as
teardrops are
easily put
forming on
them
my hair.
on this.
They're forming.
You know, you could have put the sweat on his arms and legs, not his hair. Like, you could have even put the sweat, on his face. And have Kawaii-chan be like, "Oh, Zay, you're so sweaty," from, holding his hand or something. Instead of them standing in line, at least a foot apart. You know, COVID social distancing.
Which, again, wasn't a thing 5 years ago, but all right. It feels like it, but it wasn't.
Awesome!
Was it something I said? Zane seems so nervous around me.
You're on a date. You're gonna be a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's so nervous around me. He must like me. Like that.
Like, Kawaii-chan, excuse me, honey, you're being more stupid than usual.
Yeah. I will say on my first date with Monet, we were both like very nervous in our own ways. We just found that adorable about each other. That we didn't be like, oh no, this is not working out. Like, whatever. Like,
Maybe Kawaii-chan's not as nervous as Zane because she's been on a lot of dates.
Oh my, yeah.
That is
She
also
has
fair.
been.
Yeah.
Kawaii-chan's been around the block.
She's she knows what she wants now. She's had the experience. Yeah.
Blame him.
You know, unless FMO comes out with season 7 and absolutely blows this couple.
Oh, I mean,
I don't think.
I feel like if she did that, I feel like if she ever does
Let's face
season
it,
7,
that's never going to happen.
she must know, like millions of people counting on this being good. So.
Oh, and let's face it, she's not gonna make it anyway. She's really not.
The last time I went on a date was with... Even then, Aphma was under the spell of a potion.
Not at first, but she then did become under it, yeah.
But then she tried to kiss me.
Which has already happened with Kawaii-chan, so you don't have to worry about it.
Kissing! I forgot that there was a thing that could happen!
That's what you said last episode, but you knew by that point already because the episode before. Good grief, Zane.
Zane is planning for shit that's not happening.
Oh, he does remember it.
It was nice.
I mean, I imagine kissing is nice. I don't know. I haven't experienced it, but I imagine it would be nice. So, you know.
I mean, yes, it is.
But she's always given me advice. She was always there for me.
Zane, you know what you have to do. Call off Mao's mother.
There is one other person I could call.
No, if you call Aphma's mom, it's like, is this a boy calling me? Ew, get out.
Aphma's mom.
Aphma's mom has got it going on.
Well, she's got something going on, right, Mommy?
Zuzu! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you called me! You haven't called your mother in ages! You haven't called your mother in ages!
Okay.
Yes, Mom, I realize that, and...
You know who calls me? Vlad! And he's traveling the world right now!
Yes, Mom, I know
That's
you think
because
the world
Vlad
of Gareth
doesn't
and Vlad
have a
over me.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
We've
Zuzu!
only seen Vlad for a few episodes. What was he doing? He was bumping in Aphma's basement.
Well, he's traveling around the world again now, and he was traveling before. Actually, I think it was in Paris for a bit as well.
Never once did I say
And
that.
the whole reason
I
he
just
was
wish
in...
you and Gargar would call me more often,
Listen.
that's all.
Yeah. Why can't you be more like your brother? Again, great thing to say to your children.
But you must be calling me for a reason. What's the deal, Banana Peel?
Wait, what?
Okay, you know what? That's my Levi drink for the day.
What's the deal, Banana Peel? Yeah.
Okay, next time I hop into a Discord call with all of my creative writing friends, I'm just gonna say, what's the dealio, Pelios?
No, just like when you start a new video, just be like, "What's the deal, Banana Peels? It's Ghosty, and today we're gonna be redoing a Lionsgate episode or something. I don't know. Or we're gonna be rewriting MyStreet because some of it is really concerning."
I wanted to talk to you about dating.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Not for me, but for Gareth.
Sorry, jumped to conclusions there a bit.
Oh, it would be the first time.
Yeah. I sure would hate for you to assume that Zane was dating someone only to immediately find out it wasn't true and break down into tears 3 separate times.
Oh,
But
yeah.
hey,
Oh,
I'm so happy to hear you're taking an interest in how your brother feels. That's a wonderful start.
Well, we have been bonding a lot after everything.
So, what What do you want to know about dating?
Well, let's say Gareth is on a date with a girl. How should he open up the date?
Ooh! Ask her lots of questions. Step.
I mean, that's fair. And also, don't immediately leave her to go to the bathroom as soon as you start the date. That is a terrible idea. Oh, wait, too late.
About her. Get an idea of what she's into.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, too
Okay, that
late.
is not
He's
a
already
social
on a
thing.
date.
I really wish he could have called him Zuzu instead. Oh, what, the banana peel? Nah, that wouldn't rhyme.
Too. And don't be afraid to answer her questions truthfully either.
Oh, great.
Also, don't be afraid to get a little smoochy with her.
Oh,
Ah!
Eileen, give me that phone.
Well, that's good advice. What is the problem?
Hello?
Well, it's weird when someone's mom's saying that to you. Like, imagine your mom saying that to you. It's weird.
Yeah, to be fair, my mom wouldn't be caught dead saying that, but yeah, fair enough.
A word of fatherly
Well,
advice:
no,
if she's too much of a
no,
talker, like your
If she's too much of a talker,
Uh,
already assuming something is wrong with her. What a great way to start a date.
mom,
Hey!
get her some food. That'll end awkward conversations real fast.
Again, good advice, horrible justification.
Also,
Oh, you can't. Here you.
Okay, quick reminder. These two are married.
They're stuck
And
with
you
each other.
He just insulted her to her face.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mrs. Romave. A chocolate swirl donut, just as requested.
Ah, yay!
You know
Hey, it's better sound effects than.
you're really proving my point,
You're
Zia.
right.
It goes both ways.
Oh.
Carry around a candy bar, and if an awkward moment comes up, just shove it in your mouth. It's rude to talk with your mouth full, so it's the
that's
best
not
plan of escape.
suspicious.
While you get
So, what do you want to do in our future? Like, do you want to have kids? Do you what are you looking for? It's like, oh no, why I can't talk? I'm eating. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's not suspicious at all. What do you mean?
Yeah, cut to like a year later or something. It's like, honey, I need to talk to you. Well, first of all, you've gained 50 pounds. Second of all, are we gonna have kids?
gather your thoughts.
Hey, that's a great idea.
No,
Thanks,
Zane.
Dad.
Don't take
Tell Mom I
advice
said
from your
bye.
father.
Okay.
Zane, don't listen to your
Just-
dad. He's a white beard. I can
No, don't
already.
worry. All you have to do to make sure that the girl likes you is you puff out your feathers and do a little dance.
Oh no.
This will not only scare other males, but also attract her to you as well.
Talk to her about
You
herself.
know,
and...
Ghosty, have you tried that? I'm sure you can get
Like
all
what,
the
the
women
feathers
like
trick?
that. Yeah, Ghosty, try that.
I'm a
Try
gay.
it.
Aiden, I'm a gay, not a bird.
Well, I don't know.
mean-
Maybe it works for gay couples too. Just put on a bird costume.
Listen, I'm just saying, if I ever saw a hunky bird, I wouldn't refuse a hunky bird.
You know what? That should be a compilation. Horrible dating advice from MyStreet, and just all these
Aiden
examples,
Aiden
most
is
of which
just
come from the remains.
fucking Aiden. At this point, you're
Stick
not
a
a
candy-
person. At this point, you're just a furry.
bar in my mouth if it gets weird. I can do that. No problem. You gotta buy a candy bar
No.
first.
Now go talk to Kawaii-chan!
So that explains why you carry Snickers around with you.
See, it's not
And
his
what does he
hair.
do? Let me see.
Hey!
Yeah.
I can't talk right now. My mouth is full.
Attention passengers, we will be landing in Starlight by early noon. Please make yourselves at home and relax for the night. That is all.
Almost to Starlight. I wonder what Derek wanted to talk to us about.
I'm eating!
Oh, you!
If I was Zion, I would kill him.
Yeah. Just throw him out the plane.
Just, honey, And he just throw the whole husband out.
Turner. What are the repercussions if I bite her?
Horrendous pain, potential death. No one
Exposing yourself as the Ultima.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll be in pain throughout the entire transformation.
Yep.
And I don't even know how long that'll last.
Nope.
Like, and just
What
think,
if it takes
Aaron,
a week?
Aaron, think with your brain cells. It will be really hard to hide the fact that Aphmo, who was once a human, is mysteriously a werewolf now.
Yeah, he tries to train her up later to hide her ears and tail, but he knows full well that not all werewolves can do that.
I can't think of her screaming in pain for that long. And what if her personality changes? I have no idea what difference being a werewolf is going to be on her.
Yes, neither does she, because hasn't thought that part out. And again, she'll be essentially, the way it seems right now, it's not how it ended up happening, but the way it seems right now is that it would be a different person altogether, like a full new personality and cognitive process. That's no longer Aphmo.
I just want her to be who she is. And then when everyone finds out, my mom would be so angry.
Your mom? What about your dad?
Why don't you just...
Your dad's the abusive one. Your mom's just negligent.
I feel like, well, I mean...
No, I mean, I would argue that that she's just negligent and extremely inconsiderate. Maybe kind of abusive during season 3, but I think that's close to where we got to, like, abuse from her, to be fair.
I mean, I guess, yeah, the extent of her abuse does come from, like, you know, the extent of her problems, I suppose, would be blocking Aphmo's phone number, which seems inconsequential, but has a huge ramification going forward. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Garte got caught red-handed there. That is the evidence that the truth will always come out. You know what I say to that?
The truth will always come out.
Oh God!
Kill me!
We can't speak.
At least Sylvana would probably be happy, though.
Oh, why?
What? No, she would not.
I know, bad Aaron. I mean, she's into werewolves. She's not into.
Yeah, I'm now just imagining, like, you know, people have fictional crushes or something. I'm now just imagining somebody in the future going to like their child being like, go to your room. Why can't it be more like Darby or something like that? It's ridiculous. No. It's like, I knew I should have raised Bakugo. Like, Mother, that doesn't even make sense. Oh, quiet, child. You're such a Midoriya. Anyway.
Zane, Garth, they would be concerned, but I don't think they would treat her differently.
Well, no. They'd probably hate you because... whatever.
Caitlin, however...
Yeah?
Caitlin's racist. I mean, speciest. I mean, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, probably.
Xenophobic?
Yeah.
And if I turned Af...
be, lycanthrophobic. There we go. That's the term. Lycanthrophobic.
Lycanthrophobic.
She would know that I'm an Ultima.
Why is this even a conversation?
I don't know. Jacob, seriously, I can take that as an answer.
She would know about my eyes. My eyes.
I mean, it would be safer for her.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. But again, just get laser eye surgery. Jeez.
Follow my voice.
I don't think that's how magic works. Yes, magical
We
eyes.
don't know.
Let's just cut your cornea.
What if she
That's
wasn't
how
paying
you fix
attention?
it.
And she looked.
Oh my God! You three used that scream. Wow.
Yeah. You know, to be fair, like I actually did reuse a Caroline scream one time in for Agatha, when the original scream was actually her character Jalen being burnt alive in Tales of Sir Nicanor.
Yeah.
With my eyes, I could have killed her. But if she...
Yes!
Again, this has been a thing that he's known about for the entire time that he has known Aphmau, and is only now a concern.
Why is he only...
Then she would be safe.
And you just casually brought that with you.
Yeah, what? Okay, where is he keeping that? Because most swimming trunks don't have pockets.
Oh, mine do.
The longer that
It's like
we're together...
Deadpool. He's keeping it shoved in his ass.
Alright, that's a visual.
More opportunities for something bad to happen. What am I thinking? What am I thinking?
What are you thinking?
Sorry about that.
No problem, I went to the bathroom too, so...
I thought she said she was going to stay in line.
Well, she had to
Well,
go potty. She had to go potty.
Obviously, the line didn't move because those same people are there.
Yeah. I will say, I just like now that Kawaii says he's going to go to the bathroom, imagine if Zane was just like, say, did Mifa call it the litter box?
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Do you like going to the bathroom?
Do you like going to the bathroom? What kind of question is that, guys? Who asked someone that? Do you like going to the bathroom, Jacob? I would like to
Okay.
know. It's a
I
very
love going to the
pristine
bathroom, it's
question.
amazing, yeah.
Okay, between Aphmau being insufferable and Aaron being stupid, this is actually some welcome territory.
that should have been my Levi drink. I'm figurative. There we go. Yeah.
Like, you can have another one. You can drink as many times as you want. It is your fucking
I
beverage.
tried to do it like once per episode, but yeah. You know
Have
what?
a
Fine.
second-
I
have
will.
a second
Oh,
drink.
okay. I will take a Levi drink for that. I have coffee on me right now. Okay. It gets an Andromeda Levi drink. There we go. That's first on this.
It gets an Adrama drink.
Oh my word. Okay.
Actually, that sounds like the name of a really fizzy soda, Androma drink.
Mm.
Are we thinking the same thing?
I'm so nervous! I didn't expect him to ask the same question!
Wait! Pump the brakes. Pump the
Yeah.
brakes for a second. She's nervous now, but she wasn't nervous before.
Yeah, she was still nervous before, but she was more.
She was still nervous, but she was downplaying.
Oh, Christ, there's another on this.
So, they are on a date after all. Look at them blushing. That should be me with Zane.
Ghost! But please, don't do this!
I just thought of something. Kawaii-chan was originally intended to be a yandere character. That's what Jess said in a live stream one time.
Oh, then,
So
oh
the
god.
The fact that she's
Zane
gone
and
from
Nana
being
better not break up.
okay, no, I'm just saying that she's gone from being the intended yandere character to being the rival love interest. But of the yandere character senpai. That's just I feel like that's some journey there.
I guess you could say she's the one dating
No!
Senpai now.
Absolutely.
they-
she is.
Oh
Mhm.
dear god, they better
going to
not
get him
break up, or
back!
this is gonna go downhill really fast. I've been in
Yeah.
this in Mind
about
Pod
what you were
before.
doing!
You know, I would love it if there was like one yandere like that did like that had like a huge elaborate plot, and like the whole season was built up to like getting this person away from senpai before swooping in yourself. Like everything is meticulously thought out, and then just like the next day at school, you're just like it's like oh hey, I don't know, Kasumi-chan, I'm not sure, any random name. So did you hear that I broke up with senpai? Yeah, it just wasn't working out. You know, we went our separate ways. And meanwhile, she's got like a knife in her pocket. Like, are you kidding me?
Like,
I just planned this for 6 months, and all I had to do was nothing.
Senpai is a new soft boy who likes books. Meanwhile, I'm a girl who wears really skinny shorts and is into sports. I just couldn't get him to be in the same things I was into. Probably because he wasn't also wearing shorts.
Oh god. Yeah. You know what? You know what? That's something that should happen. There should be like a yandere series that is all about the comedic failings of the world's worst yandere. Some gacha tuber, please make that the world's worst yandere.
It turns out Senpai loved her all along. He was just too nervous to confess his feelings. Meanwhile, he catches her in the bathroom he catches her in the boys' bathroom holding a knife creepily.
Yeah, no, it's like Kasumi-chan, I have something to tell you. It's like, no, not now, senpai. I'm thinking of how to conquer you. Like, but whatever.
Excuse me, what?
To like you at all!
Huh. You're right.
You want to know what it would also
Which
be
means
a fun series? A yandere who's originally interested in senpai, who has a lot of rival girls spiraling around him constantly, falls for falls for the new girl instead. But it turns out senpai was interested in the yandere instead of all of the rival girls spiraling around him constantly.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be another one. You know, I feel like the yandere genre, it does have some satirizing to it. I mean, this is an example of that to an extent, but not nearly enough. It needs more.
I'm going to need a disguise.
Oh no,
yes.
not sorry.
Let's assault a random employee.
Hey kids! Starry here! Hope your vacation is out of this world!
So, you know how I say it in that I voice bit parts to avoid casting randomly? There you go.
Excuse me, Starry, but the boss wants to see you real quick. Seems like there's a tear in your outfit.
Oh no! Really? Be back!
I guess Woof the Plush got a job. Okay.
We're next!
Let's go!
He's like, but what about me? The green hair next to them. Andromeda drink. Like that. Try to go trade away, but nothing is coming up with me. Fair enough. Yeah. It's the Levi Andromeda drink. It's a lad.
It's a lad.
How did you knock him out like that?
A small trick I learned.
Like
Don't
she's
worry
not.
about
A small trick you learned when confined in a house. What?
You know what? You know what? That trick would be so useful during season 6 if you remembered it.
There's a lot of things that have been useful in season 6 that I remembered it.
Also,
like the invincibility spell that Lucinda put on Travis.
Okay.
Even
do I need to
the
do my
full
spill
cost.
about magic systems and how a spell like that requires a huge cost, or it should be really hard to pull off, or have some limitation to it?
Like, what
Do I
you
need to do that?
mean, Aiden? What do you mean,
Well,
Aiden?
considering that Lucinda seemed to have no problem whatsoever with it, I think not.
Like, what do you mean, Aiden? Aphmau doesn't have a defined magic system. That's the season we all wanted but didn't get.
Well, you gotta limit your magic. Like, I mean, like in Fallen Angels, I have a spell that is meant to like.
Aiden, that's Fallen Angels. This is Aphmau.
Yeah, but even Fallen Angels doesn't have super defined magic system. I mean, it's not the most defined. But but each spell has idea behind it, and if I'm gonna do a super OP spell, I'm going to give a high cost or a high skill ceiling or both.
See, here's the thing. That's a good thing to do. However, in the episode in question, Lucinda just goes, poof, he's invincible now. No consequences, no exertion whatsoever. And also, I will say, in the Cinema Sins episode, hold on, Ghosty, in the Cinema Sins episode of season 3, where they actually do a sin for when Lucinda teleports and catches Lawrence in the shower, which again, by the way, is a real scene that actually happens to anyone who missed that one. Then Jason's comment on that was, and at that moment, Lucinda forgot the teleportation spell, which says to me they didn't think about high cost to this magic until they needed to, which goes back to what Aphmau said in the Discord message, but is again one of the worst examples of it. So I still think that invincibility spell could have existed there in some capacity, because the teleportation spell at least got some sort of...
Well, I mean, the invincibility spell could hypothetically work, again, if they did what they did, but even making it a very temporary spell, like, say it only lasts 60 seconds, 30 seconds, even 10 seconds, like, that would make the spell way more reasonable to cast, because, you know, it's only a very temporary, brief stint of invincibility that could be used to block an attack or two.
Aiden, this is true. No one's denying that having a high cost would be the most logical thing to do. However, we're talking about Aphmau here. The most logical thing to do would, of course, not to have would have been, you know, not to have the spell there in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's like how you like to denounce the Jury of 9 form in episode 3, because again that raises a whole host of questions that never get resolved because it's forgotten about.
Yeah, plus it doesn't even make any sense, because like the only reason Garth and Diroots was able to transform into that form was because he had a relic inside him that was stole, I think, from Caitlyn. Meaning,
yeah. So
the only reason he was able to do that was because of like the relic inside him. Therefore, it doesn't even make sense unless this version of Garth somehow has a relic in him.
You know what that makes it, Aiden? A double retcon, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Simply used a harmless technique on the costume.
What?
As I said before, that is a really interesting magic system. Except we're talking about Aphmau. She's the queen of retcons and plot holes.
Exactly.
There's enough holes
There's
in
a
that
reason why
plot.
people want to rewrite her stuff.
There's enough holes in that plot that you can legally call it Swiss cheese.
That is a great phrase.
Yes, now let's have Ghost try to murder Kawaii-chan and Zane.
Ghost! I'm going to! Gah! They're getting on the bumper cars! I'm coming!
It doesn't work so well without the camera effects. I'll say that much.
Hey, Kim.
See, oh, the girl was back.
Hey!
All right, everyone.
Hey.
Let's bump.
Hey.
Geez, sorry, bitch.
Like,
yeah. She's barely even moving. Oh my god. Oh wait, we've got another comment. Okay. Let's see. The wolf blush probably got into human form potion behind the scene. She probably came across Terry and was taken by him unknowingly of her livelihood. Then she got into the ancient book that had that recipe and went around to Starlight to create that potion. Now she disguised herself as a mascot to not get caught, according to Aphmau's logic. Ah, but that's just a theory, an Aphmau theory. And oh yeah, you certainly did to that level.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was correct, just like how Aphmau did an accidental incest plot.
Yeah, and also didn't accidentally confirm to us that the wolf plush is in fact sentient and not just a figment of imagination.
I hate Ian. I love Ian, but I hate Ian.
Oh no! Starry has gone mad!
You won't take him from
I love the fact that Keston got paid to say that line, and I'm sure he loves it too.
me!
Come on, Ian! Fuck
let's
it
go!
up!
Hey, what are you doing? Stay inside the ride. That's not safe.
You won't get away!
Oh no, Starry, no!
What's going on? What happened?
I like how
I don't know, but Starry doesn't like you.
I hate how that, employee, who's also an employee of Starlight, isn't like, hey, Starry, we're co-workers. I walk up to you and ask, hey, what's up, Starry? We're co-workers. What's going on?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Or something.
Why? Starry
I'm going to get you! You!
Okay, Garth to the rescue. But I have a question. Garth tackles Kim and Ghost, and they fall backwards like Kim is right now.
My question
So how
is,
on earth did the star get there on that side? Shouldn't it be like above her?
Nice tackle, Gareth. Ah, poor Kim.
Oh, Kim, oh, are you alright?
little do we know, these two have been secretly stalking the date for this exact purpose.
Yeah, that's fair.
This isn't good at all. Ghost is beginning to manifest powers that Kim can't control.
Who's in the what now?
It means that Ghost has the potential to take over Kim's body. Kim no longer has complete power over Ghost.
When did she ever?
This could be bad.
Really?
Yeah. Let's get Kim to the boat.
But first, can I try the costume on? I've always
No!
wanted to.
Now, Gareth.
Oh!
That was already dead now, Gareth.
Almost killed me!
Whew.
What's so funny?
Well, the idea of someone almost dying to evil Zane, of course.
Your face! It just looked hilarious as we ran.
Yours did too!
So, you like Starry, huh?
But you gotta admit, it was scary to be chased by him. Who's your favorite?
Well,
Wow.
I'm not sure, really. I didn't even know Starlight had mascots.
Oh, they do!
Hold on. Another theory to add to the table. We could really create many wacky theories in this series and somehow make it logical. How do you think I got to where I am today? What do you think I did to get where I am?
At least from what
Basically,
Alpha told me.
Andromeda drink. There are so many holes that you could fill them with your own kind of quick, dry cement, and they'd make as much sense as anything, Aphmau herself could come up with.
I haven't met them all, but I'd like to.
Well then, let's continue our date, shall we?
Just like the non-logical confirmation that Aphmau is a furry and has been one for practically the entire series.
Yeah, she played it very cool when she was Alpha of the Werewolves, but there you go. Oh, we don't get another CMD cam shot. Those were really cool in season 2. And 5.
Yeah. Also, Jacob, it would explain why she wants to be a werewolf so bad.
Oh god, she can live out her fantasies.
I suppose. Yeah, I always say this ring toss thing, I don't know why, but I just thought because of the rings in the middle of them, it looks like it says Riongatos.
Riongatos, yes.
Riongatos. How would you even play Riongatos?
That should be like a place name.
Zane-chan moment coming up. I need this.
There should be that look. But I would say that should be like a real fantasy place or something. Like, come on, team! Away we must to the village of Riongatos. I don't know.
Jacob, in one of the episodes I have planned, the gang, in order to get Ulrich to lighten up, drag him to the fair that's in town. Now instead of ring toss, I'm gonna have Riongatos, and it's all your fault.
Yep, fair enough. Also, you should have a scene of Ulrich just screaming in different rise. It cuts to him going ah, 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 in different ones for a split second. Anyway.
This date has been fun, Kawaii-chan.
You've done 2 things.
Hey, Zane?
Huh?
I had fun too.
I'm glad. Now, just so you know, I'm not looking for a kiss or anything.
I'm not either, but
I'm so glad I didn't say I'm looking for a relationship because that line is.
Oh, I was going to say that. I'm like, oh god.
I was do not finish that sentence saying. It was okay, fine.
Okay, crisis averted.
I gotta say, hey Zane, you're not looking for a relationship?
And we're moving on.
I did. It was nice. I just don't want you to think I'm easy like that.
It was in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, no one's called you easy in this series, have they? Except on our end, actually.
I know.
Hey, Kawaii-chan, would you like
Yeah?
to go play a quick game of Yango Toes?
You can call me Nana.
Huh?
Just don't tell anyone else, okay? I'm not ready for anyone else to know yet.
I do like the fact that like all the years that she was living with Afro and Caitlin and saying the first one to know. That does actually, again, show the strength of their bond.
Thank you for trusting me, Nana.
Someone drink to that. Someone do another lead by drink.
I don't have any liquid here, so
I have an empty bottle.
I have empty bottle too.
Fine, we'll count that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how to leave my drink.
I have a bottle.
All right. Well.
Okay, the best parts of the episode were the non-Armal moments.
Yeah. It's interesting because we go back and forth, especially in compares again to Phoenix Wright Season 2. Actually, one of the common complaints that that we had back then was the fact that a lot of the titles of those videos had to do with like one scene, and then like everything else was completely irrelevant to it. So it's kind of hard to tell what happens in what episode because you're like, oh, that thing happens in here. What's the episode called? Something different. Great. But yeah, in this case, we do get the we're pretty straight in because we went from last episode immediately into the next scene because that's how it had to work. I get the feeling that if that weren't the case, we would have got we didn't have a cliffhanger from last time, we would have got that part in the middle. I personally am glad we didn't. I am glad we got that whole ordeal over mostly, except for the part where Aaron's reflecting later. And we just moved on to, I'll just say, the good stuff. We moved on to the good stuff. So
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I will say it is what the whole Aphmau speech for the most part was well written.
It's well written, except it breaks so many.
Yeah,
logic.
if nothing else had come before it, you wouldn't question it. But it did, so we do. Oh, hang on a second. I actually came across your theories before. For example, your Travis theory video. Yeah, of course. Your video hit my recommendation years ago. Let's Walk on Wednesday title referred to how you made an impact in YouTube. You really did that because you surprisingly hit my recommendation that I came across you again last year. Now I'm here. Yeah, and I honestly think you're the third person who has actually told me that's happened to them. Because firstly, it was actually the first Maya, so maybe Satquin. Because
YouTube's pimping out your
then
channel now.
Yeah, then it was Write It Out, and then it was you. So yeah, and part of the reason I wanted to go back to doing Aphmau videos was because that's the thing that was that the most people actually really loved. I was able to engage with the Aphmau fan base in some way. Because with that Travis theory video, that was completely unexpected the way that it turned out. Because at first I was like, nobody's gonna watch this because none of my followers are Aphmau fans. I said that in the video, and like it's completely different to what I normally do. And yet, almost overnight, that completely changed the trajectory of my channel, and then, made a difference for me as well as for other people. So I am very glad that actually happened.
Also, I like the second part of this episode. I do not like the conflict of Aphmau being intolerant for what seems like no reason.
Yeah. You know what, actually? Speaking about Travis theory, in 11 days, it'll be 5 years since I made that video. Just another 5 years later thing this time. But yeah.
Woo!
So I'm glad that I'm actually one of my main motivations for making 5 years later in the first place as a series. Not only to try and see, not to have an excuse to actually react to all the MyStreet episodes when I didn't think to do it beforehand because it was only when Moonty started to rise around season 3-ish time that people were like, oh, this is something we should do. But also, so I can actually like offer all my thoughts and stuff because everyone was overwhelmingly just like doing regular reactions, right? I'd like a bit of a review thing. But not only that, but also because considering what's happened with Aphmau's channel, especially in 2020 when it first started happening, I wanted to rekindle something of the old Aphmau fan base and get them behind MyStreet in possibly a new way. So the fact that you're here, actually, Andromeda, the fact that the very same people that were around in like the MyStreet's heyday are coming back because of this shows that the idea has succeeded in some capacity.
Let's
Yeah,
go
so I'm
to
very
the
glad.
fair and play some Riango toes.
Yeah. Let's see. I was glad to introduce to you. I'm glad that happened because I have been having the most fun I had in years with Aphmau content and your other content. I think it really does help when you're engaging with somebody else. Because yeah, before the trip about Travis, I was really into the series, but of course, you know, I was I was mostly just like on my like maybe a little bit of being on the wiki or something, but not much. Not really talking to anyone about it. Then suddenly all the comments came in, and I was actually having just full-on discussions about this thing that I watched and nobody else around me even cared about. So yeah, it definitely made me much more of a fan to actually interact with other people. It was the first experience I really got with that. Apart from maybe like Harry Potter in real life to an extent,
Like
but not really anything online.
the Aphmau fandom is great. I just wish my introduction to the Aphmau fandom wasn't such a toxic experience. Because I dared to make fan content while the original series was still airing.
Oh right. You know what? To be fair, like I did the same thing on the Aphmau wiki, but that didn't really get any hate, but it hugely backfired. BB, who I met on that roleplay, wants to turn that into a script and has wanted to do so for years. But the problem is we did that around season 5 time, and so we still had Ian in the next generation being like one of the main antagonists, which obviously can't happen anymore. So yeah.
Ian is dead now, and it's one of the greatest things Aphmau could have done for the series. That's because
and then Liongate reversed it.
Accidental incest.
You know something? Maybe Liongate is proof. Maybe Liongate is proof of something. That now that the series has been on a hiatus for so long, now is the time to make Aphmau content and actually get it supported, rather than being completely torn down for being so different.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, the Aphmau fandom is great. I just wish my first experience it wasn't so.
I mean, Ghosty, do you have your old scripts or something that you made?
I have the vague outlines. I could theoretically rewrite it, but it would take some time.
What was the idea behind that? Actually, was it like I think it was Diaries focus? You said, right?
Yeah, it was based on diaries. Essentially, the tree of Yggdrasil was dying. So, in order to prevent its own death, at the time, because this is a few hundred years after diaries, post time skip.
Yeah.
Talk experience is bad. Stayed out of it. I had to learn the implications beside. Yeah. Basically, the queen of. At that time, humans and elves were taking care of the tree of Yggdrasil together. So essentially, the new seed of Yggdrasil is moved to the queen, but the queen dies before the seed can be planted. So it needs to essentially move on to a different body. So the queen, with her spirit inside of a tree, chooses at first, random girl whose village was just attacked. And that's it.
Okay, well, see, that's right there. Make that happen, people. Sub to Ghosty and make it happen. We need a resurgence.
Not really. I have a lot of other projects working on that right now would quite literally kill any motivation I have to work on Monster Compendium.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, I can understand that.
Monster Compendium first, Tree Girl later.
Tree Girl. Anyway, the toxic appearance was bad. I stayed out of it and had to learn the implications behind some of the motivation, Ian and Mal, of the stuff that happens in this series. Am I the only one who's like missed that experience completely? Like my experience was again the YouTube comments I got, and then the wiki was role playing and just having a good time. Did I just?
Well,
I guess I did it right. I guess I did the AFMAL experience back in the day right.
Yeah, because believe it or not, some parts of the fandom, especially around shipping and fan creations, were especially not good. It was basically a hotbed of, this thing is too close to this thing I like, so it's automatically a ripoff / copy.
You know something? I was actually really worried when I started making my first reviews of MyStreet, like the graduation days ones that I did again October 2017, and then after season 6, because everybody else who was doing AFMA reactions at the time was mainly positive, either that or they were Kogu and they were deadpan, one of the two. So in that regard, I will say Kobu's way better reacting now than he was back then. I will say that much. But so I was worried because obviously my style is very much making fun of stuff and also pointing out the flaws. Like it's now even more so in more detail than even back then. So I was concerned that I was gonna be like, this is gonna be something people are going to just hate, like detest, because it's not like the positive fan experience you think it's going to be, even though clearly based on the background knowledge I had, I was very clearly an AFMAL fan. But fortunately enough, that didn't actually happen. It wasn't nearly as big a success as the theories were, but it was still up there. So yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm still pressing and learning what happened in this series. I mean, that is a good thing to also notice. Again, 5 years later, you look back at this stuff and you realize it's not quite how you remember it all the time. Again, all good reasons to do the series.
The werewolf racism plot. I don't understand. I'm not even going to pretend to understand.
Oh yeah, that's I mean, it wasn't subtle even back then. You still knew it was there, but again, looking back now, it's far worse. There's some things that was like, you know what, we'll just excuse this for now. We don't know how far it's going to go. But then looking back when everything's already concluded, it's like, oh good lord, this was never gonna go anywhere else.
It's so bad. It's so unapologetically bad. It's insensitive. Why is it here? Why is it here?
Very,
and why
very
is
good
it only done right in one season?
I don't know. Oh, hang on. My real life friends feel bad for me that I still like AFMAL older content. I understand what I do. I like the charm of it, but the implication makes it harder for me to like it in the way that I do before learning about it. Yeah, see, I kind of go back and forth on that sometimes, or at least I did, because again, I was already of a significant age where I could tell something was off in some of these episodes. But yeah, again, the actual charm for me does actually stand out in the end. Like I said, Starlight as a whole season is still one of my favorite seasons. It's just that some parts of it are awful.
Like the werewolf.
Other parts are great. That's the thing. You need to. It's never. I mean, there are like both extremes in this one, and people sometimes they forget to look at the good as well as the bad. We latch onto bad experiences in our lives a lot of the time and think that that's all that there is. Plenty of people think to themselves all the worst of themselves ever because maybe they've been conditioned to do so, or they just have or that's just how their brain works in that particular moment, and they forget the good that has happened. That's why it's always important to remind ourselves of that, both in media and in life.
Yeah, this series is great. It teaches the difference between healthy and unhealthy relationships. It's just, we also have werewolf racism for some reason. And even the allegory doesn't make much sense because the ultimate can turn people into werewolves.
That was added later though, so it wasn't really hugely.
It was added later, but it still makes the whole thing break down when you really think about it.
Yeah, if you want to tell your friends about it, about the good of Aphmau, again, start them off in the early parts when it was all much goofier, and it was less of an attempt at social commentary to an extent. There was still a little bit in there, but not so much.
Not so much. Like, I
It was
don't
like
understand.
the social commentary in season 1 was the nature of shipping and how far it's supposed to go. That was the extent.
That was the extent. Meanwhile, I don't like the werewolf racism plot. I can somewhat understand why it's here. It's just a little strange. Why werewolves? Why werewolves?
I guess people like allegories more than being
Yeah.
realistic with it. I don't
And
know.
I will say to anyone watching this out there and being like, oh, well, I guess that means I don't have as much experience. Like, I can't really go ahead and do an allegory like this at all. If you want to write in the sense of doing social commentary and stuff, by all means do so. Again, in the course that I just graduated from, there are plenty of people trying to portray something like that. But I will say again, just be careful and make sure you consult some people first. You know, get a consultant in there, like Aphmau should have done.
Yeah, get a consultant, someone who like knows these issues and can accurately, give you a reading on if what you're doing reads as very culturally insensitive.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Aphmau here is like a balls to the wall racism allegory, but with werewolves for some reason.
Which again, if you want to do that, by all means, but be prepared to do it properly and also accept the consequences if you don't. Yes.
Do it well, and not. You can do it, just try to do it well. Get a consultant. Look at the social issues surrounding the thing you're looking at. Be sure you're not being really insensitive.
Yeah.
Don't depict the thing you're depicting as weird. Aphmau did it well in one season out of the 2 seasons it was in, and that's a bad sign.
Like, it's interesting that she was able to portray more from the werewolf perspective than she was from the human perspective. It's an interesting thing there. I don't know. Andorra says, my older YT content reflects my liking for this series. I'm trying to get out what I bucket listed for the fandom before I start doing original work. I might even make a new channel of my own original work to avoid being known for this fandom. Well, as somebody who has been known for almost 5 years as being a member of the Aphmau fandom, I can say it's not that bad. Don't worry about it.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here and I was once a member of the Homestuck fandom.
Ah, yes, that is a whole other matter altogether from what I have heard. But the Aphmau fandom, yeah, why not? Again, we need a resurgence. That's what I'm trying to help do. So yeah.
If Homestuck can have a resurgence, we can have one too.
So don't get pity on late times or something of that nature. I think anyone's ever pitied me for being in the Aphmau fandom. Like, no, like most they pity me for being alone in it. But again, having this channel, doing what I do, that's not the case. But yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here alone in the Homestuck fandom. It's known to be one of the most toxic fandoms.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I want to do a video of Fallen Angels v Homestuck class spec system, and nobody around me knows what the hell I'm talking about.
I think, yeah, no, I know a little bit about that actually. I've watched a Sarah's Edbit topic of Homestuck in general. So yeah, I get it a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, the Aphmau fan absolutely. I mean, I will say that was a big shift back in the day when I joined that because beforehand I'd been was nearly, and yeah, it was like 4 years of my time on YouTube doing like basically just game stuff for the most part, and like very few deviations from that. A couple of songs here or there, revision parodies mostly. Sometimes we either do like a hangout where it's like the same friends from before, like the non-gaming ones. That was it really. There's only 3 games I ever played. So doing something of that, like a video like that, it was utterly just a random risk that I took, and suddenly it was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna make the shift now. And eventually I decided that, you know what, this is something that I like, it's something people like, and I'm getting a lot of mileage out of it. So yeah. There's a video essay of AFMO I'd like guys to see. I can share the link to you. All right. Yeah, fair enough. I won't put it on screen right now because I've got to actually wrap this up, I must say. I've been here for way longer than I was intending to, because I do think
almost 2
my parents might have gone
hours.
to bed by now, but they didn't want to speak to me, so I don't know. It's midnight, so who knows at this point. But yeah, so I will check that out. We will do so later. As for thoughts on the episode, I think we've covered that already. Werewolf stuff was awful. Zane-chan stuff, saving grace. So ultimately, it puts it quite squarely on neutral going on good. But yeah.
Basically, the D&D alignment of this episode is neutral meh. It's not exactly
meh.
It's not exactly good and not exactly bad. The Zane-chan stuff saved it, but there's still bad parts of the episode. It's like cutting an apple. You gotta just cut the rotten bits out. And then you can enjoy the rest of the good stuff that's already there.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Hang on.
So, Jacob, what is the next episode?
I'm glad you asked that. I believe it's the 5th, but I'm going to check anyway.
Alrighty. After I get off here, I'm probably going to go back to drawing Ulrich. I haven't, gotten the back view done yet.
Very well. And I tell you what, if you want to distract yourself by reading something, I can send you Legend of Yumi. There's like a couple of pages. It'll be like a short break. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway.
I'd much enjoy it. I've been drawing Ulrich for way too long.
Yeah. It is indeed the 5th. At that point, I will be at an Airbnb in Paris. So I have no idea, or Montreuil, I guess, basically Paris, France area, essentially. The Paris area of France. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we will, so that's that. So yeah, it will look quite different. I hope I have enough connection. But either way, regardless, it will be on the 5th. Maybe
if you do, 5 years later, I will stay up till 5 a.m. to watch it.
Well, that sounds like about. I was going to say, I've never had a stream go to 5 a.m. before. Never mind. But yeah, we'll see you then for the 5th of August. Same time, same place, 5 years later. Until then, please like or dislike because your opinion matters. As Grant done so already, subscribe to basically Ghosty and to Aim the Best. And on that note,
who is not
until
here.
next time, farewell.
Farewell! Also, don't do writing sins. God will punish you.
To write what?